सबसे पहले तो हाय, आई फील सो गुड टू सी ऑल योर फेसेस, इट्स बिन सो लॉन्ग। बहुत टाइम था यार, ऐसा लग रहा है जैसे बहुत सालों बाद बाहर निकली हूँ। ठीक है, आई थिंक आई हैव मेड माई पीस विद इट अब तो। ऐसा नहीं है कि तब भी आई डेंट मेक माई पीस विद इट, बट जेन्युइनली लाइक हैड इट बिन एन एंटायर पैन इंडिया वोटिंग हैपनिंग और फिर ऐसा होता जो मुझे पता है कि तब ऐसा नहीं होता, तो शायद सेंटिमेंट बहुत डिफरेंट होता, बट आई टेक एवरीथिंग इन अ पॉजिटिव स्ट्राइड एंड आई फील कि हम उस वक्त उस चीज़ को रियलाइज़ नहीं करते, बट जो चीज़ें हमारे लिए परफेक्ट होती है वो लाइफ में वैसी ही होती हैं। सो नो हार्ड फीलिंग्स देयर।
घर के बाहर आने के बाद क्या कुछ मिस कर रहे हैं आप? क्योंकि स्टार्टिंग तो हम देखते थे जब भी शुरुआत होती थी तो लाइक बिग बॉस एंथम से होती थी, कुछ
या
एंथम का गुनगुनाना चाहोगी आप?
हाँ, एक्चुअली बाहर आने के बाद सबसे पहले मैं सुबुल से मिली थी, तो हम लोगों ने यू नो व्हाइल वी वर चिलिंग ऑन द फर्स्ट डे दैट आई गॉट आउट वी वर सिंगिंग द एंथम। बट आई थिंक जो मिस करूँगी, लकीली फॉर मी आई फील कि शायद मैं अगर बहुत पहले बाहर आई होती तो ऐसा एक फीलिंग होता कि शिट मैन, आई मिस दिस, आई मिस दैट। बट ऐसा मिस जैसी फीलिंग नहीं हो रही है, बिकॉज मुझे लगता है कि मैंने हर एक मोमेंट जो पॉसिबली वहाँ जी सकते थे वो सब एक्सपीरियंस कर लिया, सो आई एम वेरी यू नो ग्रेटफुल फॉर दैट। एंड मिस नहीं कहूँगी, बट ये बोलूँगी कि हाँ, मेमोरीज जो लाइफ टाइम के लिए बनी है वो हमेशा एकदम एच्ड रहेंगी, क्योंकि ये वंस इन अ लाइफ टाइम एक्सपीरियंस है, विच ऑब्वियसली आई नेवर फॉरगेट। एंड थैंक्स टू दिस एक्सपीरियंस मुझे कुछ बहुत अच्छे दोस्त भी मिले जो जिन्हें मैं यू नो फ्यूचर में अपनी रियल लाइफ में भी उनको यू नो उन रिश्तों को मैं संजो के रखना चाहूँगी और उनको आगे अपनी ज़िंदगी में लेके जाना चाहूँगी।
कौन से ऐसे रिश्ते होंगे
मंडली,
जो
मंडली, किसके साथ नहीं, बहुत लोगों के साथ।
नहीं, क्योंकि मंडली आपकी एक अलग ग्रुप है और बाकी भी और भी लोग हैं मंडली में, तो कुछ लोग थे लेकिन कुछ लोग तो अभी भी अपना अलग ही खेल रहे थे।
ओके, सबसे पहले तो आपका एक मिसकंसेप्शन और एक बबल पॉप करना चाहूँगी मैं कि हर कोई हर किसी के साथ खेलता है। आप जब 16 लोग होते हो, तो ऐसा इन्वेरेबली हो जाता है। आई एम श्योर आपके साथ भी होता होगा, आप अपने ऑफिस में आपकी टीम में बहुत सारे अलग अलग तरह के लोग होते हैं, लेकिन शायद 3 लोग या 4 लोग ऐसे होते हैं जिनके साथ आप कनेक्ट करते हो। इसका मतलब ये नहीं कि ऑफिस में आप सब लोग साथ में नहीं खेल रहे हो, आप खेल रहे हो और अपना काम भी साथ में कर रहे हो, लेकिन फ्रेंडशिप एक अलग चीज़ होती है। तो आई थिंक इट्स रियली बैडली यू नो इट्स मिसकंस्ट्रूड कि खेलना नहीं खेलना, कि मतलब कुछ लोग ऐसे भी होते थे जो अलग अलग कोनों में बैठते थे और शो करते थे कि हमारे मुद्दे हमारे खुद के एंड ऑल ऑफ दैट, लेकिन नॉमिनेशंस वो लोग साथ में डिस्कस करके करते थे, तो दैट एक्चुअली इज कॉल्ड खेलना। जबकि अगर आप मंडली की कभी भी नॉमिनेशंस की प्रक्रिया उठा के देखना, आपको दिखेगा कि हर इंसान ने अपने पर्सपेक्टिव से लोगों को वोट किया है। You know, especially towards the end it became so prominent that if I have a problem in 1% or 2% और शिव को या स्टैंड को उन लोगों से प्रॉब्लम नहीं है, तो उनके वोट कभी इधर नहीं होते थे। मतलब कभी ऐसा नहीं होता था कि वो हम सब ग्रुप में ऐसे लाइक अब्दू वुड से दैट यू नो वी वुड नॉट फायर बुलेट्स लाइक दैट। सो अगर साथ बैठना 24 घंटे में, आई डोंट थिंक इट इज़ पॉसिबल कि आप बस एक दूसरे की बुराइयां करो या सिर्फ टास्क के बारे में डिस्कस करो। ऑब्वियस ही बात है, आपको कुछ नहीं करना है, सिर्फ बातें करनी है अपनी लाइफ के बारे में, दूसरों की लाइफ के बारे में। यू नो, दिस सच अ वाइड रेंज ऑफ टॉपिक्स टू डिस्कस इन द वर्ल्ड दैट द रिलेटेबिलिटी ऑफ द मंडली केम फ्रॉम दैट, कि हम 4 लोग इस घर के अलावा भी अच्छी कॉन्वर्सेशंस कर सकते हैं। सो
निमित,
दैट।
घर के बाहर आने के बाद आपने तो बहुत से एपिसोड्स देखे होंगे, बहुत सारी चीजें भी
एक भी
पता
नहीं
चली
देखा ब्रो।
होंगी और फ्रेंड्स या मॉम डैड से पता
हाँ,
चला
चीज़ें
होगा।
पता चली फॉर श्योर या।
ऐसी कौन सी बातें आपको खराब लगी जो नहीं होनी चाहिए थी और हुई है? क्योंकि अभी हाल ही में हमने देखा है कि एक प्रेस मीट में भी जब उन 5 लोगों से बात की गई तो स्टैंड की भी कुछ कुछ बातें प्रियंका को पता चली कि उनके फेस के रिलेटेड वो बोल रहे थे। ऐसे कुछ बातें हैं जो आपको पता चली और बुरा लगा है कि आपने होप नहीं किया था कि ये इंसान आपके बारे में ऐसा कुछ बोले?
नहीं, मेरी ऐसे इनमें से किसी से भी कोई ऐसी एक्सपेक्टेशन नहीं था कि ये लोग नहीं बोलेंगे, क्योंकि जो मेरी जर्नी रही है अंदर और जो मेरे मुंह पे भी इतनी सारी चीज़ें बोली हैं, सो आई एम नो लॉन्गर लाइक इन अ शॉक स्पेस कि वो अच्छा ऐसा हुआ था। लाइक आई हैव गॉट टू नो थिंग्स बट आई डोंट थिंक दैट दे आर इम्पॉर्टेंट इन लाइफ, क्योंकि मुझे लगता है कि बिग बॉस एक 4.5 महीनों की जर्नी थी, एंड आई फील कि बहुत सारे लोग बाहर आकर भी एक दूसरे की और भी बैशिंग कर रहे हैं, विच इज़ वेरी अपसर्ड, बिकॉज 4.5 महीने हमने सिर्फ एक दूसरे की जिल्लत करी है ब्रो। कीचड़ उछाल रहे हैं, कचरा डाल रहे हैं, तुम अंगार, ये भंगार, व्हाट इज़ दिस मैन। लाइक हम सब एट द एंड ऑफ द डे इंसान ही हैं, एंड आई थिंक कि उस बिग बॉस के जज्बे को अभी थोड़ा सा काम डाउन होना चाहिए बिकॉज वी आर बैक टू रियलिटी. ऑफ कोर्स अगर एक शो का फॉर्मेट ऐसा है दैट यू नीड टू वॉइस आउट योर ओपिनियन. ऑफ कोर्स हर कोई इंसान सी आप लोगों को नहीं बदल सकते हो, और डेफिनेटली कुछ चीज़ें ऐसी बोली गई हैं जो मैंने अप्रिशिएट नहीं करी, लाइक मेकिंग फन ऑफ समबडीज बॉडी, समबडीज फेस, समबडीज डिप्रेशन, एनजाइटी, लो फेजेस. दैट्स नॉट कूल. बट फिर भी ये कॉन्वर्सेशंस हुई हैं, बट आई टेक इट इन अ स्ट्राइट कि ये उन पे रिफ्लेक्ट करता है और ये उनकी सोच, उनकी मैंटालिटी दिखाता है, ना कि मेरी. तो मुझे कोई ज़रूरत नहीं अपने आप को डिफेंड करने की, एंड द वर्ल्ड इज सीइंग, सो इट्स चिल. क्या आपके लिए शॉकिंग था वैसे? जस्ट क्यूरियस. सी कौन डिजर्व करता था कौन नहीं करता था, आई एम नो वन टू इवन से दैट. क्योंकि मुझे लगता है कि बहुत ईजी होता है बोलना, अरे तुम तो डिजर्व नहीं करते, तुम्हें क्यों मिली है ये नौकरी, या तुम ये गाड़ी में घूम रही हो. अरे हु द हेल एम आई टू डिसाइड एनीथिंग? आई नो व्हाट आई डिजर्व बिकॉज आई नो what is the effort that I put in, या मैं क्या मेहनत करती हूँ. बट कौन क्या डिजर्व करता है, आई एम नो वन टू से दैट. सबकी अपनी किस्मत होती है. एक शो के रनर्स का भी एक कॉल होता है, एक पर्सपेक्टिव होता है, एक सोच होता है. सो आई टोटली रिस्पेक्ट दैट. बट आई डू नो कि अगर वोटिंग के आधार पे होता, मैं अपना बता सकती हूँ कि अगर पैन इंडिया वोटिंग के हिसाब से होता तो मैं घर के अंदर होती, एंड दैट आई ऑल्सो नो एंड यू ऑल्सो नो, एंड दैट्स ओके.
बट फिर भी निम्रत, आपके कुछ फ्रेंड्स से जब हमने बात की, जैसे टीना से भी बात की, तो उनसे भी
किससे बात करी?
टीना से भी बात
हाँ,
की, तो उनसे
friends. I love the word. You guys throw friend such a casually. Oh, such a friend. No, I think please, like, I would say colleague. I would not say friends because दोस्ती एक बहुत ही गहरा शब्द है जो हम इतनी casually ऐसे यूज़ करते हैं ना कि I know this person is my friend. No, my colleague.
okay, your
Yeah.
colleague Tina,
Yeah.
when we had a talk to her, she was like कि निम्रत को बाहर होना चाहिए था या फिर सुम्बुल को, मैं डिजर्व नहीं करती थी. जब फ्रेंड्स ही ऐसा लाइक कलीग ही आपके अगर ऐसे कहते हैं, तो आप नहीं किसी को कहना चाहोगे? क्योंकि आप भी कहीं ना कहीं डिजर्व करती थी इतना जब आपने गेम खेला है. बहुत
Correct.
से लोगों ने तो ये भी कहा है कि ऐसे ही शांत रह के मंडली का हिस्सा बन के फिर भी इतना आगे बढ़ गई. तो कुछ आप भी इसमें
उनको
कहना
एक्चुअली खुश होना चाहिए कि मैं अंदर नहीं. जेनुइनली उनको इसलिए खुश होना चाहिए बिकॉज जस्ट बिकॉज मेरे 4 दोस्त थे, इसका मतलब ये नहीं था दैट आई नेवर हैड ओपिनियंस. मेरा तरीका प्रॉब्ली बहुत ही अच्छा था उनके नज़रिए में, जो वो भी रिलेट नहीं कर सकते क्योंकि उनका तरीका काफ़ी मेरे नज़रिए में. एंड नो, आई वुड नॉट से दैट अबाउट एनी वन बिकॉज लाइक आई सेड, आई एम नो वन टू डिसाइड. एक शो के पीछे जब इतना ज़्यादा काम किया जाता है तो बहुत सारे लोग इन्वॉल्व होते हैं, and we should all respect that, where they see what they see, and that's okay. It's their vision, it's their show, and I have fulfilled my purpose, and no, I wouldn't say that about me.
What about जब सलमान सर ने थे तो उनके बदले हमने देखा फराह मैम आते थे.
हाँ.
तो फिर वो लाइक शो की तरह होस्ट करती थी.
हाँ.
आपको कैसा लगा? क्योंकि बहुत से और भी लोगों के ओपिनियंस हमने लिए, कहीं ना कहीं ओपिनियंस बहुत नेगेटिव था कि वो हमारी बात नहीं सुनते थे, हमें अपना बात नहीं रखने देते थे. तो आपका इस पे क्या ओपिनियन है? सिर्फ सलमान सर
जेनुइनली एक बात बोलूँ, दिल से बोलूँगी, फारा मैम जब आई या करण सर जब आए तब लोगों को फिर भी उनसे बोला जाता था कुछ, यू नो, बिकॉज व्हेन सलमान सर वुड कम वीड ऑल बी लाइक डांटना पड़े आज, दैट्स इट. किसी की इतनी हिम्मत भी नहीं होती है कि आप कुछ बोलो. एंड the other hosts who have come on the show have been so warm. I don't know what you have seen, but I've seen a first-hand picture. They have genuinely been very nice and very sweet to all of us. So yeah, ऐसा कुछ पता है क्या होता है? प्रॉब्लम ये होती है कि जिस दिन जिसको डांट पड़ रही होती है तो सामने वाला खुश होता है और उनको लगता है कि हाँ सब अच्छा है, और जिस दिन और तब हमें लग रहा होता है कि नहीं यार ये हमें नहीं सुनाना चाहिए था. सो आई थिंक लाइफ में कुछ कुछ चीज़ें विद अ पिंच ऑफ सॉल्ट लेनी आनी चाहिए. एक दिन मेरा अच्छा दिन होगा जब आप सब लोग मेरी तारीफ़ करोगे, और फिर दूसरे दिन मैं कुछ ऐसा करूँगी जिसके लिए आप मुझसे सवाल पूछोगे, एंड दैट्स हाउ लाइफ रन्स. सो
अभी अगर कोई शो मिलता है अगर आपको, तो किस तरीके का शो आप करना पसंद करती है? किस
मेरे को कोई भी काम दे दो, आई एम हंग्री एज एन एक्टर, जस्ट गिव मी वर्क. आई लव हाउ यू आस्क मी, नो, लाइक if you ask me like this, my list would be like I want to do some series like this or like that, but I just feel that I respect all kinds of work and I would love to know what's the kind of work that comes my way, and of course then take a call because काम से प्यार.
Whom do you think will be the winner of Bigg Boss 16 this year?
आई डोंट नो, जिसकी किस्मत में लिखा होगा उसी को मिलेगा, जिसकी लकीरों में लिखा हुआ है उसी को मिलेगा. आई डोंट नो, बट डू आई होप, यस आई होप दैट एटलीस्ट फिनाले पे मैं दिल से चाहूँगी कि एक साइड पे शिव ठाकरे और एक साइड पे MC स्टैन हो, क्योंकि मुझे लगता है कि ये दो लड़के ऐसे हैं जो एक कॉमन इंसान को उनसे, इन दोनों लड़कों से एक यूथ और एक कॉमन जनता, एक लाइक जस्ट इरिस्पेक्टिव ऑफ योर बैकग्राउंड, कि आप लोग कहीं से भी आ सकते हो. शायद उन जगहों से, उन सिटीज़ से जहाँ इतनी अपॉर्चुनिटीज़ नहीं होती थी. फॉर एग्जांपल अमरावती इन कंपैरिजन टू बॉम्बे और अ मेट्रो, यू देयर ऑब्वियसली अ डर्थ ऑफ अपॉर्चुनिटीज़. या अगर मैं स्टैंड की जर्नी की भी बात करूँ, आई जस्ट फील कि हर इंसान उन दोनों से और उनकी जर्नी से रिलेट कर सकता है. एंड आई फील फॉर द एसेंस ऑफ दिस शो कि लोगों को इस शो में बिलीफ रहे, बिग बॉस में बिलीफ रहे, और जो वो सपना उन्होंने अपनी जर्नी के थ्रू लोगों तक पहुंचाया कि यार आप लोग भी, और इन दोनों लड़कों ने, आई वुड लव टू सी दैट मैजिक हैपनिंग ऑन द फिनाले डे. रेस्ट ऑफ कोर्स जिसकी किस्मत. मेरी एक्साइटमेंट कुछ ज़्यादा नहीं है क्योंकि मैं वहाँ नहीं खड़ी हुई हूँ. No, but like पता चले इसके बाद I'll put this. No, I'm very excited for the finale. And yes, I have a performance. I'm just kidding. But of course, जो मेरी feeling होती है, अगर मैं भी वहाँ बैठी होती तो it would have been a little different. But yeah, excited. Very. Thank you.
A lot of family in this book, and I'm really reassured to know they're still talking to me, all of them. So that was my big concern, because you know how it is, and especially when you're talking about children, and they all get competitive, and they all start counting each line and saying, "Oh, she's got much more than I have," and you focus on
The other
him
one.
much more than me,
Right.
and you've forgotten all that I've done.
Right.
Each time we're in the car, I become your DJ, I play your favorite tunes. None of that gets mentioned in the book. So yes, I've dealt with a lot of stuff, still dealing with it, but I really did take a huge chance, and well, I'm glad I did. And so far, they haven't, like I said, they're still talking to me and showing me a lot of love, so it can't be that bad. But it is a very delicate balancing act, I mean, as you can imagine.
Yes.
When you're
Especially when you're
discussing-
writing about personal stuff.
Yeah, when
You have to be very
yeah.
sensitive.
And writing about your own family, it is extremely, extremely difficult to do that. And I'd done it many years ago, but it was a bit of a cheat at that time. The children were much younger, and I was counting on them not reading the book at all because they were too young to read, and probably they didn't. And it was letters to my children, which were, I still, there were sentimental letters, but also truthful letters with, but you know, being upfront about your own life is never easy, as I'm sure all actors know, because they're always playing a part. But when they're asked to be completely themselves, I wonder, who am I?
Yeah.
You know, so.
So tell me, did this kind of coincide with when you were at home in COVID? So were these thoughts actually kind of circling in your head at that time?
Yes, COVID was an incredibly complex period for all of us. It was cataclysmic for the entire world. And it did strange things to everyone. I don't think any person has come out of COVID saying, I'm exactly the same as I was pre-COVID. No one is untouched. It flattened us all. And perhaps for the first time in the history of the universe, every person was equally vulnerable. Not even through wars has that happened. It was that one moment when the entire universe had one single fear. And that has to have changed us. And also the fact that the lockdown forced us to stay within four walls of our homes, not meet colleagues. I mean, my grandchildren, the little one, for example, didn't get a chance to interact with other kids. They didn't go to school. There was, you know, all of that. And adults had their own set of, you know, weird stuff to deal with. Lots of challenges where you ended up almost wanting to kill one another. And you saw sides to each other, which weren't pleasant at all. And then if you lived through all of that, I think you emerged more honest and more upfront, even in your relationships. So yes, 100%, there was a lot of introspection during COVID. A lot of time to think about stuff. And I did, in fact, uh, shoot 50 videos back to back as therapy for myself, or I would have gone nuts. And I sang foolish songs at the end of each video. I can't hold a note. I don't know the lyrics. I can't sing. And I started to sing it just for fun, and people started saying, "Oh, you should sing some more," because they were enjoying what an idiot I was making of myself. But it was therapeutic, and I'm glad Anandita was good enough to shoot them every single day. Short videos, like 2 minutes, 3 minutes. I had to bully her most of the time. She was dealing with her own stuff, right, during COVID. But yeah, I think COVID was a huge.
How do you think it has changed you? In what way?
I think I'm just much more ready to take whatever it is from whosoever it is. I feel I have I'm naked. I have nothing to lose. I feel I have shown my true colors to all those in my family and those I love. And if they still respond to me and feel positively towards me, then I must have done something right, I guess. But I think just being yourself, it freed me
That's so nice.
incredibly. It just freed me. I mean, it's gave me the kind of courage to own up to so many things which in the past would have been very hard to do it, at least publicly.
Right. So this is in that sense a very important book for you, because it's about people who are close to you, and that's really important to you.
That is the only single most important truth to me in my life, as it is, I'm sure, for a lot of people.
Yeah.
There's nothing beyond that can be bigger or greater.
Yeah.
So,
Actually, I
acceptance
went
from
through a
that,
similar realization during COVID.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Tell us.
Well, I kind of felt that COVID made you realize how vulnerable not just you are, but the people around you are. And you get scared for people who you're close to, who you love. And I think it was in that frame of mind that I started really thinking about the people who are close to me. And then I realized that for my entire adult life, from the age I was 18, I began working as an assistant director. So from then up until now, I've just been, fully focused on films and cinema, and that's been my passion. I've actually not really been there for people around me. So that was a big change for me. Realization, a self-realization, and I'm really glad it did come at this age and not 20 years later. So I'm using this year to connect with all the people close to me.
I remember what you said to me, which I'd like to share with everyone, when you said you were taking a break. And you're also very conscious of your commitment as a single parent. You're also very conscious of the fact that your mother needed you and you weren't always around for her because you were busy with your career. You were very conscious of the fact that within your both your marriages, maybe time was what they wanted and you couldn't give it, perhaps. And so this break that you're taking, a lot of actors would not dream of taking a career break of this kind, but it's very, very courageous of you to do it.
But my actor friends make fun of me. They're like, you were always on a break. What are you talking about? Tu film mein kaam karta hai? Jo tu ab break pe hai. So,
Well,
but you see, the difference is that now my mind is on people. Earlier, my mind was on films, was So that's been a big difference for me. Tell me, is it like nerve-wracking, waiting for the response of people who've read your earlier books, and at this stage, is it really nerve-wracking? You said you were nervous.
No, I'm only nervous when the process is on. After that, I honestly think of the book. Maybe I'm romanticizing it a bit too much, but once it's published, and I loved how the design team has.
Yeah, they've done a wonderful job.
They've done a beautiful, wonderful job of the design. So, Paulami, Trisha, your design team, they're busy having a drink. I don't want to interrupt them. Drinks are important.
It's a really lovely design.
Yeah, so, no, once it's out there, Amir, it's like, those happiness lanterns or those, in Thailand, those wish lanterns. You leave them. So you leave it and you keep following the lantern till it's just a tiny little speck of gold in the sky, and you keep wishing and you're wishing, and then it disappears and it's in space, and you disconnect, and then it's no longer yours. So I feel that way about the book. It's great to see it at airports. It's great to see it with people, but it's not that I'm paralyzed at all by reactions,
Right.
or I'm preoccupied with how it will be reviewed. And perhaps for the first time in my acting career, writing career,
yeah.
writing career, Lilette, I took your line. I have received the most incredibly warm reviews.
Wow.
And I can say why, Amir. They're not from my contemporaries.
Oh.
Loaded response.
Oh. No, I didn't get it.
Contemporaries will never ever say anything wonderful about
Oh, okay.
you. Never. I mean, the
That's sad.
first few reviews were so devastating. I should have crawled into a little hole and never gotten
Oh
out.
no, okay.
Today it's young India, and young
That's
India
right.
is much more accepting, much more open. They don't come with any preconceived ideas.
Sure.
They're not judging you. They look at the book and they couldn't care less. They like it or they don't like it. They don't care who's written it, uska aage piche kya tha, none of that. That's how they look at movies as well. That's how they respond to music and
Sure.
and everything. So I'm very glad that I managed to impress young India. That's for me a huge big plus.
That's wonderful. That's wonderful. Tell me, what is the in the book? What is your favorite part in the book? What is the one maybe incident or one thing that really moves you the most, or is closest to your heart?
Well, the book started off as the working title for the book was Searching for Anuradha, which
Oh.
is my birth name.
Oh,
So Anuradha it began as a quest. Where is that little Maharashtrian girl? What happened to her?
Right.
And then
You
somewhere
were
along
born in Mumbai.
in Satara.
You were born in Satara.
Yeah, when my
Wow.
father was a district judge there.
Right.
And I was, that birth name was Anuradha based on my nakshatra. Now the nakshatra is the 17th in the hierarchy of nakshatras. And the emotions or attributes connected to Anuradha, the nakshatra, are fragility.
Oh.
Fragility.
Right.
So maybe my inner fragility is all emerging. Finally,
Right.
I have found Anuradha, is what I'm thinking at the end of the book.
Wow.
Seriously, because I'm still looking.
Yeah.
But it ends with my saying that finally Anuradha is where she wants to be. This is the last line of the book. So that little Maharashtrian girl, and I said it earlier, it's worth repeating, that I can almost hear my parents, wherever they may be, chuckling at this woman, this person sitting here, and saying, maybe in Marathi, of course, to me, की काय समजतेस तू स्वतःला काय तू इतकी हाय फाय शोभाडे आहेस का असं काही नाही तू अनुराधाच आहे आणि अनुराधाच राहशील which is in a way so reassuring.
I know what you mean. I know
So
what you mean.
reassuring because
Yeah.
it's back to roots, it's back to knowing. But I never did forget Anuradha. The little Maharashtrian girl was always there. So if my parents were to say की तू इथे तिथे जाऊन फुआग्रा खाशील आणि काय खाशील पण भाकरी येऊन रात्री खाणार की नाही, it's a fact.
That's
It is that bhakri which I still eat every night. It is that bhakri which sustained me, and it's the bhakri which I value the most.
right. Tell me a bit about your childhood. How many years did you live in Satara? How long were you there?
No, just 2 years. When my
2
father
years.
was transferred to the Ministry of Law Central in Delhi. So formative years were very Delhi. And I liked it better as a child than I do now. I avoid Delhi at all costs. But back then, I enjoyed it because Delhi had seasons, Amir, which
Right.
we don't in Mumbai. We have hot and we have wet.
Well, now it's getting cool. Nowadays it's quite chilly. Yeah?
And
I'm
the
a
pollution
strong Mumbaiite. I always say, यार December में अच्छा chill हो जाता है.
5 दिन के लिए. But we love that.
Yeah. So, tell me, how? I mean, amongst all the books that you've written now, when you look back at your work, how do you look at it? Do you compare one book with the other? How do you feel about the work that you've previously done?
I like some of it. I hate some of it. I'm embarrassed by some of it. That's the truthful answer. Some I feel, yeah, okay, I really like what I said then. That's if I ever go back. I'm not one for looking back. I'm very much a creature of the moment.
Right.
And I'm not even saying I look ahead. To me, it's the here and now. Right now, I'm here with you. We're talking about this book, and this has value for me. So the old books, well, it's like saying, uh, I don't know. You can learn a lot from your old books, but what more do I need to learn at this stage, which will somehow make me into a Nobel laureate? It's never going to happen, right? These are my books. I'm proud of all of them.
That's
I
right.
love them.
That's
But it's like asking who's your favorite child kind of a thing. It's a
Correct.
trick question. So even if you have a favorite child, you're never going to acknowledge it.
Yeah, I asked you this because I want to know what I should answer when I'm asked this question. I'm always asked, which is your favorite film? I have no idea. So I said, let me try it
You
on
say
you.
happy batao because your films are watched by millions and millions. You turn it around and say, which is yours? That's mine also.
You've had such a colorful life, such an amazing life, with so vibrant and so full of experiences. How much of that we'll get to see in this book?
Amir, read it. A lot,
Okay.
I promise you.
No, I'm planning to read it. I'm going to start on my way back in the car. Yeah, I
I
promise
knew
you.
it.
Yeah,
I
no,
knew
I've
he
been
was going
looking
to
forward
wing
to
it,
that.
but he had told me. It's really, I mean, I honestly think it's not because I'm here to sell my book at all, but it's a great book. I said it.
No, I'm sure it is.
I love it.
I'm sure it is.
I really enjoyed writing it, and I think that comes through because it's very layered. It's not. I mean, there are a lot of young, earnest reporters who come and ask me, "So, madam, ये ऐसे खाने वाली किताब है, तो इसमें recipes भी बहुत सारे होंगे, so और खाना पकाना कैसे and all of it." So, I have to keep specifying that it's not a food book.
It's not a cookbook. Huh?
It's not a cookbook. There are no recipes. Maybe recipes for life, perhaps, but not even those in a conventional sense. It's really a book that's celebratory in tone. It celebrates experiences, sounds, smells, music, art, poetry, as I experience it in that 1 year.
Right.
And food is at the center of it all. I mean, there's eccentric food, like crazy food. When I was in Kerala, a lady asked me, she said, "Madam, you have recommended banana chips, crushing banana chips and having them on Hakka noodles." I said, it's actually try it. Because, I mean, unless we experiment with food, why should we be straight-laced? Why should we be purists?
Yeah.
Why should we have food critics telling us how we should eat? I mean, there's no such thing as the ultimate Bible of food. We have our own pattern.